up, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of My Take. All right, so some of these people think that they're gonna bully me out of my opinion. That's not gonna happen. But since people are basically crowning Caitlin Clark as the GOAT, I'm gonna run her through some tests, and we're gonna see if she can beat all of these ladies to be considered the GOAT. So I started with Diana Taurasi. I think Diana Taurasi is a better player, if you ask me, overall, right? While people is crowning Caitlin Clark, I think Diana Taurasi has a little more in her arsenal. If you're talking about all around. Now, I'm not gonna lie, man. Caitlin Clark did some amazing things. I want y'all to understand that I said that. She did some amazing things. She's a 6 foot height player, but I think Diana Rossi is the same height, but I think that she did more. Now, if you want to talk about career individually compared to collectively, it's apples and oranges. But I'm gonna pick who I want accolades from. A lot of these people, man, they want somebody to crown who they want you to crown, and it's not even logical. So we're gonna compare these two players, right? And I'm gonna show some clips, and just to kind of get a feel of both players. But man, I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna go off individual accolades, and we're gonna go off, just overall career by both players. And I'm gonna actually start by just naming stuff, right? Which is the first thing is who was the better ball handler between Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark. To be honest, you're gonna see it, but I'm gonna give you my opinion first. I think Diana Taurasi was a better ball handler. What happened to Caitlin Clark would not have happened to Diana Taurasi when Caitlin Clark got her pocket picked by Raven. Okay, that would have never happened with Diana Taurasi. So I think in that category, I believe that Diana Taurasi has the better handles. If we talking about shooter, who is the better shooter? Now it depends on what do you mean. If we talking about distance, I'm going with Caitlin Clark. If we talking about pure shooter, I'm going with Diana Taurasi. A lot of people might say, "Oh, you tripping? You tripping?" Okay, all right. Go watch her play when she was at UConn, because I'm going with college. Now, overall, I'm going to say that Caitlin Clark has the better career. When you talk about points overall, you talk about assists, you talk about rebounds, right? She has to do more. I'm gonna be honest with you. Caitlin Clark has to do more. This is no slight on her, and honestly, it's not even me being biased because I actually like talking about her because it gets a lot of engagement from people, and you get different perspective. But I gotta be honest with my assessment as well. So when people say that Diana Taurasi was hating, I honestly believe that she's measuring herself as the measuring stick. That she understands that, she is a better player than Caitlin Clark. Now, will we see Caitlin Clark get the better of Taurasi? Probably. Man, I think she's almost 42 years old, and Caitlin Clark coming in with some fresh legs. So when I'm saying all this, man, remember, I'm talking about Diana Taurasi in her prime. Just like I'm going to talk about other players in their prime. And this is the reason why I'm doing this, is to show y'all, in order for her to be the GOAT, she got to withstand the test of time. And I honestly don't believe that she will, will pass this test. And just by looking at the stuff, okay, we go off defense. Who is the better defensive player? You got to get at the Diana Taurasi. And in fact, for y'all who watching, I'm going to give y'all better shooter for Caitlin. Caitlin Clark, better shooter. I'm going to give her that category. National titles. Who are you going with? You got to go with Diana Taurasi because Diana Taurasi has won 3 straight in a row. I mean, 3 consecutive championship, national championship, in a stacked division with a bunch of good teams. USC at the time, Stanford, a really good team. Like, man, they had a lot of good teams as well. And they withstood the test of time. And we could talk about better college career. The person who had the better college career was definitely Caitlin Clark. And the reason why I say Caitlin Clark is because her stats individually was just outstanding in comparison to everybody else, right? To have the assists with it, all those things. So I'm gonna pull it up right here. You can't deny this right here. You can't deny that. 31 points, 31.6 points, 7.4 rebounds, 8.9 assists on 45% field goal shooting. That's amazing. I'm telling you, that's literally amazing by Caitlin Clark. But I'm a winner. I'm a Jordan type of guy. I'm not going with the LeBrons. I'm not going with everybody else. I'm going with the winners. So when we look at the winners, we got to go with who? By default, even though I know a lot of people ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but by default, you have to go with Diana Taurasi because she did more. She has, let's see, man, let's read some of the accolades because we can go and talk about the record breaking for Caitlin Clark. She broke records. She broke the 3-point record. She broke most points scored record. She broke, man, just name it. She broke every record. But she didn't get what really counted. See, when you go and talk about Diana Taurasi, we got to talk about what she has done on all levels. So that's why I got to give this better career. And I ain't talking about individually because my goal is always championship. So if I look at the player and say, oh, who has the better career? Everywhere I go, this person is somehow winning. I got to go with Diana Taurasi. Now let's read some of her stuff. Diana Taurasi won the WNBA Rookie of the Year award, 3-time WNBA champion in 2007, 2009, and 2014. A historic 5-gold Olympian medal winner, gold medal winner. One WNBA Most Valuable Player awards, 2 WNBA Final MVP awards, 5 scoring titles. Okay, now if the WNBA is the standard, I gotta say that's more impressive than what Caitlin Clark did. And if you guys are not are not biased, you're going to say the same thing. You're going to say, "Wow, that is amazing." The fact that she won all those things, you know, on the highest level, supposed to be highest level. Because I know if you get all those things in the NBA, that supersede, you know, the college level by far. You know, so I got to look at it and say, you know, that Diana Taurasi is a better overall player. She's the better player. She's the person that I will select over Caitlin Clark. And it's no knock to Caitlin Clark. But I think I have to do this to show you guys. First of all, she can't be the GOAT because she's not even better than Diana Taurasi. And I know a lot of people may say, "Oh man, you tripping. You just don't like her." Man, I don't even know her. I'm I'm just a person that understands basketball and I understand the goal. I understand what a real great career looks like. Charles Barkley was a hell of a player. But are you hearing people just putting him at an all-time great or even close to it? That's because it matters to be able to put a team in a position to win a championship. And not only that, she did it 3 times at the WNBA. 2 of the times she won the MVP. That's amazing. I have to say that that's more amazing than what Caitlin Clark has done. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all may disagree, but how many of y'all truly, if y'all not being biased, think that Caitlin Clark is better than Diana Taurasi? Let's be honest with ourselves. Because I read y'all her career stat. Her career stat is 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 8.2 assists. And it's a 46% shooting. That's amazing by Caitlin Clark. But did she get them championship rings? She did all that. Did she get the championship rings? She didn't. So what do y'all want somebody like me to do when you guys out there saying, "Oh, she's the GOAT. She's the greatest"? Basically, what y'all doing is rewarding the fact that she can shoot. That's what y'all doing. So I'm not that person. So I gotta break down. We're gonna go with Caitlin Clark's. We're gonna break down, her stuff. Let's do it. We're gonna break her stuff down.
A household name. And she didn't just continue to dominate, she continued to break records. Her 44 points on January 2nd, 2022 was the most by any woman in a single game at Carver Hawkeye Arena. And her stat lines were getting so insane that she was breaking men's records too. She became the first Division I player, regardless of gender, to have a 30-point triple-double in back-to-back games. And although she had multiple 40-point games in her sophomore year, the one that stands out the most was her 46-point outing against Michigan, which was absolutely jaw-dropping as 25 of those points came in the fourth quarter alone. She won the Big Ten tournament in her sophomore year, which included a 41-point and 9-rebound game in the conference semifinal. And although her season ended in a shocking round of 32 loss to Creighton, she finished her sophomore year averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, and took home the Big Ten Player of the Year along with All-American honors. Caitlin Clark's junior year is when she really put her name on. Caitlin's junior season was nothing short of historic, as she didn't just put up insane stat lines, but continued to break various records. Along with her averages of 27.8 points, 8.6 assists, and 7.1 rebounds per game, she recorded her 7th triple-double of her career, which broke a Big Ten record. She also became the fastest player to reach 2,000 career points since the year 2000. She also moved to second in Division I women's history in total triple-doubles, only trailing Sabrina Ionescu. In the Elite Eight of March Madness, she had a 40 triple-double, which was the first 40-point triple-double in March Madness history in either the men or women's tournament. In the Final Four, she had an insane 42 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds, knocking off the defending champs, the University of South Carolina. She also became the first player in tournament history to have back-to-back 40-point games. She led the University of Iowa to their first NCAA championship in program history. Although the season ended in a loss to Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers, Clark had an impressive 30 points and 8 assists, along with 8 three-pointers made.
And now a lot of people, I wanted to stop right there. Now, a lot of people are saying that they knew of Caitlin Clark before that. The man even just admitted it that she ended up taking off her junior year, and that was after the incident with Caitlin Clark. She did good. She was doing good throughout her career. She did everything. But I'm telling you, the reason why she is as known as she is because they made the whole situation racial. That's the whole reason. Now you got a lot of people behind Caitlin Clark. And somebody told me that nobody called Angel Reese a villain. Well, I think somebody don't understand the whole, the whole meaning or definition of the word villain, because they definitely painted her as a villain. And that's how you can get threats. They threaten that woman. You know what I'm saying? So the way I'm looking at it, I think that Caitlin Clark is a hell of a player. And I'm going to keep saying that. But people got a problem because I'm not giving her the greatest player of all time from college. So when we looking at it, if I'm comparing her to Diana Taurasi's career, right now I'm selecting and choosing Diana Taurasi. In fact, if she want to make that up, she got to win 6 titles in the WNBA. She can't go without winning some titles, and I mean plural. She cannot go. Caitlin Clark cannot go without winning some titles. Now, I do think by default and a little bit of biasness that they're going to try to give it to Caitlin Clark. They're going to try to do that, but if she get it, she's on the right foot. She's starting the right way, So we're gonna see, man. I gotta play Diana Taurasi real quick, you know, um, because it's only right that I give her a chance as well, But hey, man, I'm telling y'all, it's not just clear cut as people want to make it, because they so biased with it. Like, can't be biased, man. You got to understand that, both players are really good. But go ahead. I'm about to play.
Gets it into Candace Dupree. Waited. Came off just at the right time. Nash and Taurasi matched up at both ends with 4 and 1. Win and lose, live and die with Diana. And here's why. These are the kinds of plays she's capable.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It's just hold on. Yeah, I don't know what happened. But basically, man, what it showed was Taurasi, she was really good at the passing. I think she's a better ball handler. I think that far as like pure shooter, she is one. But since we want to measure distance, I'm going to go ahead and give that to Caitlin Clark, right? She's the furthest girl shooter that people have seen more consistently. Because like I mentioned already, You got Juju Watkins who can shoot just as far. I've seen her do it on many occasions. She can shoot far just like Caitlin Clark. So I guess by default, since she's able to score and she doesn't have to really play into the zones to try to score, I guess by default, she is considered the GOAT because she's able to shoot without a person putting you in a zone. But when you look at the overall totality of both players, they're both really good. But like I said, her style of play just never equated to a championship. And so in order to get the championship, you had to win it. You had to. So I guess since she the one that shoot very far, that makes her the greatest of all time. Instead of saying the greatest shooter of all time, they're calling her the GOAT of the game. And that's disrespectful to those who did it because she's not in contentions with a lot of the players. Caitlin Clark cannot beat a lot of the players that are already in the WNBA and prior to the WNBA. She can't beat a lot of them. And I'm just being flat out honest. And a lot of people are going to get upset by me saying that, but it's true. If you really go down and break down Diana Taurasi's, I guess her stats and her game and the way that she played and how she won 3 in a row with UConn, and then on top of that, go to the WNBA, win Rookie of the Year, then win 3 championships. Which one is more impressive to y'all? I guess that's the question that I want to ask. What is more impressive? Somebody that hold every record in the NCAA or somebody that wins everywhere that they go and hold every title that actually exists? Which one is more impressive? Because we know that Diana Taurasi did something that Caitlin Clark is never going to do, which is win an NCAA title. She's never going to do that. So I don't go off personal accolades because there are some really good players in the NBA that are good that never won nothing. Why you think they make it a super big deal that a player don't win nothing? Why you think LeBron James end up cheating the process to go play with Miami? Because they equate greatness to rings, and she hasn't won a ring. So that's all I got, but I appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in to my take, and that was my take.